Two Sheds Gabby back again. Today, my wife and I was out. She's buying a drop leaf table because this table right here used to be our dining room table, and I've commandeered it from her because it doesn't really fit in this new house. The house we have now is a little bit bigger than the house we had, but it's arranged differently, and there's the kitchen is even probably a little bit bigger. But there's a walk-through, so there's really not a good place for a dining room table. So we purchased an antique drop leaf, drops on each side, that will have folded up and sit in our den. And then if we ever want to have people over for a meal or for cards, we can just open that up. I'll get you it's still in the vehicle. I'll get a picture of it in a little while. Anyway, while we were out, we stopped at a bank and I grabbed another box of pennies. I feel like I'm going to need to have some weeks, I'm going to have at least 2 boxes if I'm going to continue on with my goal of reaching 260 pounds for 2024. So here we go. I've grabbed another one. Oh, and there is also a nice ender. It's a nice 1964 Canadian. Good looking old coin. Let's get started. Well, besides that 1964 Canadian, there was only 2 other copper coins in the row. Hopefully many of the other rolls will be better. Here at the end of the 4th roll, I find my second Canadian copper. This one is 1975. Do you all think that's a good looking reverse? I like it. I think it looks good. Each of the rolls since that first one has had over 9, so that's good. Oh, and I'm pulling out some of the, I'm going to weigh that because I can't read the date. It's copper. Anyway, I'm pulling out some of the really nice newer ones over here, and I'm gonna get out my punch and put some TG for Two Sheds Gabby. You all know that, most of y'all know that I sell these mats on eBay, and usually my practice is anybody that buys more than one mat from me at a time, I send them a wheat penny. But I'm going to start putting in one of these in with it too, just for the fun of it. And I'll make a few extra so that each box I make sure I get a few more out in circulation. Because I'm hoping someday somebody's going to write to me and go, okay, Two Sheds, I found one. That'll be fun. We have come to the 8th roll, and here is wheat penny number 1. The old 1958D. I think they made more of that than anything else. I think my wife is waiting for me to go out and get that table in. So I guess I'll do that after this row. I have word on the house I'm buying. I finally get to close on it this week. Still waiting for the house for my cousin that I'm the executor. I thought that'd be this week. Haven't heard from him yet. I mean, I know it's Monday. But I thought I'd hear from him the end of last week. And I have not. We just pulled it out of the back of the vehicle. Once she gets it set up, I'll show it to you with the sides up. Here it is with the sides up, and you can even pull it apart, and there's another leaf that sits in there and it folds out. It's really cool. But we're going to keep it folded and then keep it right here stored until we need it. There's his new home, and I think she's going to put a shelf or something on the wall. All right, let's get back to the pennies. Early in the next roll, that's the 9th roll, I get Wheatie number 2. Glad to see him. 1954D. It's a pretty good looking coin there. Last night, my wife went to bed. She goes to bed at 10 o'clock almost every night. They have concluded that the best hours, you get your best sleep from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., and she wants those best 4 hours. And I don't blame her, but I don't usually get to bed till closer to midnight. I try to get a couple of those hours. But she went to bed a little bit before that, actually, and I was in here in my office doing some work, listing some of these items from the guys that I sell for on eBay. And I started hearing a voice from the other room. I'm like, what in the world? And so I hopped up and I grabbed a firearm and I ran in there. The TV was on where I had already turned it off. And what had happened is she had gone to bed, and we watched Dr. Sten Ekberg's maybe two videos on health, and he's a pretty sharp cookie when it comes to the human body and things like that. And he comes out with a new video, I think, every Friday. But his latest video is how to help your body prevent dementia, and he's talking about fasting and how certain amounts of fasting and exercise can help prevent and even restore the brain, recover from dementia. And she had accidentally cast it to the TV. So I sat down and watched a few minutes of it, but then I got back up and came in here. I got several more done. Some of them come out better than others. That one looks real good. That looks like an oil painting about to happen. Well, here's Wheat Penny number 3. Keep them coming. 1946. And look at there. 2009. It's a nice one, too. In fact, this is the second one this row. Here's the other one right there. $82. If this made it through their machine to be counted in my roll, I'd like to know why I'm not getting some neat looking stuff. This could be from the year 1200. Pieces of 8. I can't believe that made it through. And yet I'm not getting other neat things like guitar picks and stuff. We have come along now. I guess I'm in like the 16th row, something like that. And here's Wheat Penny number 4. 56D. It's kind of like Murphy's Law reversed, whatever. I was sitting here. I go through each row with my magnifying glass there until I get to like a Wheat Penny or Canadian or something. And then I'll pick up my phone, as I'm doing now, and go through the rest of the row, chit-chat or whatever. And I looked down a minute ago. I was going through a few rows. I've been listing a little bit over here. Wow, that's cool. I guess we'll weigh that guy. He's zinc. But I look down and it's like, oh, I better charge my phone. So it's right next to me here, a little charging thing. So I plug it in to start charging, and there's a Wheat Penny. And as soon as I did, I found a Wheat Penny. It's like, okay, I got to unplug it, pick the phone back up. It's a good thing. It's just, why the 4 or 5 rolls before that I didn't find anything, how come I wasn't charging? It's one of those weird things. Kind of like whenever you leave your windows down in your car, it rains. And so if you need it to rain, you leave the window down in your car. That sort of thing. Anyway, here's Wheat Penny number 5. 1954, Philadelphia. Halfway to my 10. That's nice. I'm not halfway through the box, and here's number 6. That looks pretty nice. $1940D. It's in good shape. Cool. Reading number 6. I'd love to get my 10. I think that last box I just got 8, if I recall. And I just barely did hit my 3 pounds. But I got it. And a couple of Canadian. I was thinking a minute ago. There was a silly old skit by Monty Python back when they did this show, The Flying Circus, back in the 70s, I guess. It was about Woody and tinny words. And that was in like an old England setting with the servants standing around behind them. And it was just cheesy as can be. But the old fellow that ran the place was sitting around saying words that sounded woody because they didn't like tinny words. And go, gone. Gone sounds very woody. You know, chip sounds tinny, and then they'd freak out over the tinny. And I was thinking that copper is woody, but zinc is tinny. I just came to my 3rd Canadian copper penny. I did find one earlier Canadian that is not copper. This is the 81. They made this weight in 80 and 81, and it's the 2.8 gram. And then they went in 82, they went to the 12-sided and the 2.5 gram. It's 3 Canadian copper now. You know, when I used to talk to the older guys, when I was a little bit more of a younger guy, we would have to relate on different things. You know, I grew up with my dad playing me Hank Sr. and Marty Robbins and stuff. And so those are the things that a lot of the older guys that I would talk to, we could relate to a lot of those things, you know, and we'd have a good conversation. Wow, look at that. But now I'm one of the older guys, and most of you guys that are my age, we can relate to the same stuff. Here is another 2009, my fourth one of those. I have rolls of them put away. 23rd roll, still not halfway through the box. And here's wheat penny number 7. I'm getting closer to that 10, 1945. Seems like I've gotten a lot of 1945 P's here recently. How often do I say this? I don't think I'm going to get my 3 pounds. Yeah, many of the rolls I'm going through, it does not have the 8.5, 9, whatever that I need. But yeah, you know, you get some that's 13 or 14 that makes up for some of those. 7 Wheaties now. The 4th roll into the second half, and my number 8 wheat penny is a 1930. Pretty cool. It's a pretty old one. I just finished eating a ham and cheese omelet. Pretty good. Pretty good. We used pepper jack cheese, piece of homemade sourdough toast with some honey on it. Very next roll, and there's wheat penny number 9, 1944D. This one's not in such good shape. Ooh, pretty rough. Wheat penny number 9. I'm going to do a few more rolls, and my wife and I are going to go out and our little fire pit and build a little fire, burns. We've got limbs. This place, there's quite a few trees in the back, big trees. And when we got in this place, there was just limbs everywhere. We've cut up a whole lot of them and saved even the little bitty pieces we have in a couple of totes for getting fires started. And we've up to bigger limbs and then bigger. But we've still got several limbs that we'll probably work on tonight just to start burning them down. I'll try to take a picture of them behind the tree and show you what I'm talking about. And we'll just probably break the little pieces off to get the fire started, and the bigger pieces. I've got the Ryobi battery chainsaw, and I love it. It's great. I'll probably cut up some pieces with it. And I'll show you our fire too. Look at this, folks, the very next row. Golly. This is my wheatie number 10. I did it. That's really neat. This is the 6th row into the second half, and another pretty old one, 1937. I get more Phillies than anything, except in the late 50s, I get a lot of Ds. But that's pretty cool. Got the 10 all ready, so I don't have to sweat it. I've got some little dumbbells, like 5 pound, 3 pound, and 2 pound that are extras. They came with the house, and I've got them on Marketplace, and somebody's supposed to come at 8:30 to get them. I hope they show up, because so many times they don't. But I'll take them. I'll just have them kind of set up front. If they show up, I'll just run up there and meet them, and they give me, I think I have $10 on all 3 sets. Not each, just, it's 6 weights for $10. It's a pretty good price. I'm just trying to get rid of it and stick a couple dollars in my pocket. It's 20 minutes till 8 p.m. We'll probably get out there and get started on the fire at about 8. That's if the wind don't pick up. If it gets windy, we don't do it. I've got my 10 now. Will I get my 3 pounds? That's the question. 82. Look at this, folks. The very next roll again. This is the seventh row into the second half. And there's wheat penny number 11. Cool beans. That's nice. 1951D. Very neat. A few rolls later, and here's wheat penny number 12, another older one, 1937. Again, Philadelphia, but still. Cool, wheat penny number 12. Well, no fire tonight, folks. My wife just informed me that she's got the chills and she's not feeling well, and she's going to bed, and that's not like her. So I won't build a fire, and I'll be just kind of keeping an eye on her. Hopefully it'll just be nothing, and she'll feel just fine in the morning, but we'll see. Oh, Canadian, cool. Nice. 1973. Neato. Another wheat penny. Look at that. Wow. That was a good roll, wasn't it? Oh, S. 1944 S. How cool. Man, that's what, 13, I think? Wheat penny number 14. How about that? I don't see a VDB down at the bottom there. 1950D. Wheat number 14. Man, that's really neat. I thought I'd take a few minutes while there's still a little daylight and go out and do a little metal detecting. I did find one more penny, and this one was a wheat penny. 1952D. Needs to be cleaned up a little bit more. Pretty cool. 3 or 4 inches deep, I guess. I got to pull another plug out where I've got another signal where I think there's probably another penny. But the mosquitoes were just tearing me up. Oh, man. In just a few minutes I was out there, I'm just eat up. So that wasn't very fun. I think I'm going to look into getting a couple of bat boxes. They say that a bat can eat a couple thousand mosquitoes a night. That would be fantastic. I think I'll look into that. Just 4 rolls left in the box, folks. And I came to wheat penny number 15, 1953D. 15, that's really good. That's pretty cool. I was just answering somebody who's like, why would I want to store a bunch of heavy pennies in my garage? You know, silver is heavy enough. Why would I want to do that? And so I gave some answers. The truth is, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know, this is the place to ask questions, so that's cool. I don't mind. I hope people are, you know, mostly courteous. But you absolutely give me your opinion. I don't mind. Just be courteous about it. You know, I've got friends that golf, and I don't. I have a couple of times many years ago, and it just was, you know, I don't want to do it. I don't want to spend my money doing it. You know, it's fun driving a golf cart, but it's just not my thing. If I'm at home with my wife, I might say, man, I'm just not going to spend my money doing that. But if I'm with my friend, I'll say, hey, man, what'd you shoot today? How'd you do? I hope you did good. You know, I don't watch sports on TV. I used to watch baseball. When I was real young, I watched quite a bit. I liked baseball up until COVID. I didn't like the things that happened that, and I just haven't gotten back into it. But my friends that watch lots of sports every week, I don't go, why do you do that? I'll say, you know, how'd your team do this week? This is kind of cool. Look how the, I'm guessing it's a fingerprint. I don't know. But it looks like a fingerprint. And it covers the whole side of that part of the coin around his face and body. That's really neat. I have a couple of tubes of oddball pennies, and this one will go in my oddball pennies. How you like this one? It's zinc. Too bad. Last roll. We'll see if we get anything in this last roll here. I'll weigh that. Oh, I was going to say I'll weigh that one, but I could hear that it's zinc. While I was getting eaten with mosquitoes, I was remembering a couple weeks ago, my wife asked me if I was interested in a bug zapper. And I said, absolutely. I love bug zappers. We haven't had one in a long time. I'd love to have one. But we don't have. Oh, look, there's a Canadian. Cool. But I guess she didn't order one. I'll have to say something to her. This is a 12-sided copper 1994. Cool. Yeah, I need to get on there and get one of those ordered. There's another one. Can't think what it's called. It's Dino Dino Tap or something like that. And it has the ultraviolet light, but it doesn't have the zapper. Another 82. But it has like a fan that pulls it down in it, and then they die in the bottom and you clean it out. And I was watching a video. They say they cover a pretty good area, but they're pretty pricey. I looked on eBay. A new one was $119. It's like, ooh, that's pricey. I mean, yeah, to get rid of these mosquitoes, it'd be worth it. But hey, I see a wheat. You see that wheat penny right there? Cool. You may have seen it long before I did. That's 16. Neato. It's a pretty nice 1980D. The stairs aren't defined very well. 16 wheat pennies. Cool, cool. 1944, Philadelphia. Just a couple pennies to go, and I'll turn it off. I'll weigh the 83s. And we'll see if we get our 3 pounds or not. I kept a couple of S pennies. I probably have more than enough for the 4 books I've got ordered, but I want to make sure that I got everything. And after I see, like, if I have like several left of one after I fill in the penny books, I'll probably just throw some of them back into the copper hoard population. That is it, folks. Let me weigh the 82s here, and we'll go weigh our today's copper and see if we got 3 pounds. Okay, here we go. I don't know. I'm just gonna say it's light. Yeah, yep, it is. 2 pounds and a little over 12 ounces this time. Didn't quite make it, but I got, what was it, 15, 15, I think, wheat pennies, and that's great. Several of them pretty old, a few Canadian. Anyway, I'm going to add that to my copper box up here and see. I don't think I'm at 15 pounds yet to seal up the next one. Probably be the next box. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.